I invite you to open your minds and hearts to a reality far greater than what your physical senses perceive. So tonight we shall delve into the depths of your being, where the seeds of all creation are sown, the intricate interplay between your mind, body, and soul. Let us begin by understanding the nature of your mind. Your mind, my dear friends, is not confined to the gray matter within your skull. It is a vast, limitless realm that extends far beyond the boundaries of your physical form. It is the canvas upon which all your experiences are painted, the stage upon which the drama of your life unfolds. Your mind is the very foundation of your existence, the soil in which all your experiences, all your circumstances, all your relationships take root and flourish. Now you might wonder, Neville, how do we harness the power of our minds? How do we direct this incredible force to create the life we desire? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the art of focused attention. Your mind, you see, is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you focus upon consistently, with emotion and conviction, becomes magnified in your experience. Consider for a moment the difference between a scattered, unfocused mind and one that is laser-focused on a specific goal or desire. The scattered mind, jumping from thought to thought like a butterfly flitting from flower to flower, creates a reality that is equally scattered and unfocused. But the focused mind, like a powerful laser beam, cuts through the illusions of the physical world and shapes reality according to its vision. This, my friends, is why it's of utmost importance to be vigilant about where you place your mental focus. Are you focusing on your problems, your limitations, your fears? Or are you directing your mental energy towards your desires, your aspirations, your highest vision for yourself? Remember, where your attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, reality grows. But here's a crucial point that so many miss. It's not enough to simply think about your desires. You must feel them, experience them in your imagination as if they were already real. For your subconscious mind, which is the builder of your reality, does not differentiate between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience. When you focus your mind on your desired reality, seeing it clearly in your mind's eye, feeling emotions associated with its fulfillment, you are literally impressing this reality upon your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, being the faithful servant that it is, then works tirelessly to bring this impression into your physical experience. Now let us turn our attention to your body. Your body, my dear listeners, is not a mere physical shell housing your consciousness. It is a living temple, a miraculous instrument through which you experience and interact with the world around you. Your body is the bridge between your inner world of thoughts and feelings and the outer world of physical experience. Many people make the mistake of viewing their body as separate from their mind and soul. They treat it as a machine, fueling it with food, exercising it, and then wondering why it doesn't perform as they wish. But I tell you this, your body is an extension of your mind and soul. It is a physical manifestation of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. Every cell in your body is listening to your thoughts, responding to your emotions, aligning itself with your beliefs. When you focus your mind on health, vitality, and well-being, your body responds accordingly. When you visualize yourself as strong, fit, and energetic, your body begins to align with this mental image. But it goes even deeper than this. Your body is not just responding to your conscious thoughts, but to the deep-seated beliefs held in your subconscious mind. This is why it's crucial to examine and revise your beliefs about your body. Do you believe that aging must bring decline and disease? Do you believe that your body is fragile and prone to illness? These beliefs, held in the subconscious mind, will manifest in your physical experience, regardless of your conscious desires for health and vitality. The key to transforming your body lies in transforming your mind. As you focus your mind on the perfection of your body, as you hold in your imagination the image of yourself in perfect health and vitality, you are literally reshaping your physical form from the inside out. Your cells, your organs, your entire physical system begins to align with this mental image. But remember, my friends, This is not about forcing or struggling. It's not about battling against your body or trying to whip it into shape through sheer willpower. Instead, it's about aligning your mind, your imagination, and your emotions with the state of perfect health and vitality. It's about loving your body, appreciating its miraculous nature, and allowing it to express its innate perfection. As you focus on your body in this way, you'll begin to notice subtle changes. You might find yourself naturally drawn to healthier foods, or feeling inspired to move your body in ways that bring you joy. You might notice aches and pains diminishing, energy levels increasing, a general sense of well-being permeating your physical experience. These are not coincidences, my friends. They are the natural result of aligning your mind and body with the perfection that is your true nature. Now let us delve into the most profound aspect of your being, your soul. Your soul, my dear listeners, is not some nebulous ethereal concept. It is the very essence of who you are. It is your connection to the infinite, the divine spark within you that is one with the creative power of the universe. Your soul is not separate from your mind and body. Rather, it permeates every aspect of your being. It is the animating force that gives life to your body and consciousness to your mind. When you focus on your soul, you are focusing on your true self, your divine nature. Many people go through life unaware of their soul, caught up in the dramas and it's called the physical world. They identify solely with their body and their thoughts, forgetting the infinite, eternal nature of their true self. But I tell you this, awakening to your soul nature is the key to true freedom, true peace, true fulfillment. When you focus on your soul, you begin to see beyond the limitations of the physical world. You recognize that you are not bound by your circumstances, your past experiences, or even your physical form. You realize that you are a limitless being capable of creating any reality you can conceive. But how do we focus on something as intangible as the soul? The answer lies in stillness, in silence, in turning your attention inward. In the quiet moments, when you silence the chatter of your mind and the demands of your body, you can begin to sense the presence of your soul. It's a feeling of expansiveness, of peace, of connection to something far greater than your individual self. As you practice focusing on your soul, you'll begin to experience life from a new perspective. The dramas and challenges of daily life no longer seem so overwhelming. You start to see them as opportunities for growth, for expansion, for expressing more of your divine nature. You begin to make decisions from a place of inner wisdom, rather than fear or external pressure. Moreover, as you align with your soul nature, you naturally begin to align with the universal laws that govern all of creation. You find yourself in the right place at the right time, attracting experiences and relationships that support your highest good. You begin to live in a state of flow, where life unfolds with ease and grace. Now, my dear friends, let us explore how these three aspects, mind, body, and soul, work together to create and joy. Imagine, if you will, a triangle. At one point is your mind, at another your body, and a third your soul. This triangle represents the totality of your being. When all 3 points are in alignment, when you're focusing equally on mind, body, and soul, you experience a state of perfect harmony, of divine balance. But what happens when we neglect one aspect of our being? Let's say we focus solely on the mind, pursuing intellectual knowledge and mental stimulation while neglecting our physical health and spiritual well-being. We might find ourselves mentally sharp, but physically drained and spiritually empty. Or perhaps we focus exclusively on the body, pursuing physical perfection while neglecting our mental and spiritual growth. We might achieve a fit physique but feel unfulfilled and disconnected from our true purpose. The key, my friends, is to maintain a balanced focus on all 3 aspects of your being. As you nurture your mind with positive thoughts and empowering beliefs, as you care for your body with love and appreciation, as you connect with your soul through stillness and inner reflection, you create a harmonious, integrated state of being. From this state of balance, you become a powerful creator capable of manifesting your desires with ease and grace. Let us now explore some practical ways to focus on each aspect of your being. For the mind, I encourage you to be vigilant about your thoughts. Watch them as a detached observer would, noticing without judgment the patterns and habits of your thinking. When you catch yourself in negative or limiting thoughts, gently redirect your focus to what you want to experience. Practice visualization, seeing clearly in your mind's eye the reality you wish to create. Feel the emotions associated with the fulfillment of your desires. For the body, I invite you to develop a deep appreciation for this miraculous vehicle in habit. Speak to your body with love and gratitude. Visualize it in a state of perfect health and vitality. When you eat, do so with consciousness as blessing your food and imagining it nourishing every cell of your body. Move your body in ways that bring you joy, not as a chore or punishment, but as a celebration of life. For the soul, create moments of stillness in your day. Practice meditation, not as a technique to be mastered, but as an opportunity to commune with your higher self. In these quiet moments, turn your attention inward, beyond your thoughts and physical sensations, to the vast, peaceful presence that is your true nature. As you go about your day, strive to maintain an awareness of this inner presence, letting it guide your actions and decisions. As you focus on integrating mind, body, and soul, you may encounter resistance. Old habits of thought and behavior may try to reassert themselves. Doubts may arise, questioning the reality of your soul or the power of your mind to shape your experience. This is natural, my friends. These are simply the old patterns fighting for survival. When you encounter this resistance, do not fight against it. Fighting only gives it more power. Instead, observe it with detachment and compassion. Recognize it for what it is, the dying gasp of old limiting beliefs. Then gently but firmly redirect your focus to your new, empowering vision of yourself. Remember, my dear listeners, that this integration of mind, body, and soul is not a destination to be reached, but a journey to be lived. Or it is a moment-by-moment choice to align with your higher self, to live from a place of balance and harmony. There will be times when you feel perfectly aligned, and times when you feel off balance. This is all part of the journey. The key is to keep returning your focus to this integration, to keep choosing alignment over and over again. As you persist in this practice, you will begin to notice profound changes in your life. You may find that challenges which once seemed insurmountable now appear as opportunities for growth. You may notice synchronicities and coincidences occurring more frequently, guiding you towards your desires. You may experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. But perhaps the most profound change will be in your relationship with yourself. As you focus on integrating mind, body, and soul, you develop a deep love and appreciation for all aspects of your being. You begin to see yourself as you truly are, a divine being having a human experience, a creator shaping through the power of your consciousness. This self-love, this self-appreciation becomes the foundation for all your experiences in the world. For how can you truly love others if you do not first love yourself? How can you appreciate the beauty of the world if you do not first appreciate the beauty within you? As you cultivate this loving relationship with yourself, you'll find that your external world begins to mirror this inner state. You attract loving relationships, fulfilling experiences, and abundant opportunities. Now, my friends, I want to address a question that often arises when discussing the integration of mind, body, and soul. Many ask Neville, how do I maintain this focus in the face of life's challenges? How do I stay centered when the world around me seems chaotic? To this, I say the challenges and chaos you perceive in the outer world are reflections of inner states of consciousness. When you maintain your focus on the integration of mind, body, and soul, you create an inner state of harmony that must by law be reflected in your outer experience. The key is to remember that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are the creator of your reality. When faced with challenges, return your focus to this inner harmony. See the challenge not as a problem to be solved, but as an opportunity to express more of your divine nature. Use your mind to reframe the situation, seeing the blessing hidden within it. Use your body as an anchor, staying present in the moment, rather than getting lost in worry about the future or regret about the past. Connect with your soul, drawing upon the infinite wisdom and power that is your true nature. As you practice this, you'll find that you become like a rock in the midst of a storm, steady, unmoved, at peace, regardless of what's happening around you. This doesn't mean you become passive or indifferent. On the contrary, you become more effective in your actions because they come from a place of inner calm and clarity rather than fear or reactivity. My dear friends, as we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a point of utmost importance. The power to focus on your mind, body, and soul is not some external force that you need to acquire or develop. It is your very nature. It is who you are at the core of your being. You are a divine being possessing infinite potential, expressing yourself through the vehicle of your human form. When you focus on integrating mind, body, and soul, you are simply remembering your true nature. You are aligning yourself with the fundamental creative force of existence. This is why this practice is so powerful. It is not about becoming something you're not, but about recognizing and expressing what you truly are. So, my dear friends, as you go forth from this place, carrying this knowledge with you, I urge you to maintain your focus on the integration of mind, body, and soul. Recognize the immense power you wield when these three aspects of your being are in harmony. Use this power wisely, use it lovingly, use it to create a life that reflects your highest vision for yourself and for the world. Begin each day with a conscious focus on all three aspects of your being. As you wake before your feet touch the floor, take a moment to center yourself. Bring your attention to your mind, setting positive intentions for the day. Focus on your body, feeling gratitude for its miraculous nature. Connect with your soul, recognizing the divine presence within you. Throughout your day, be mindful of maintaining this integration. When you find yourself caught up in mental chatter, gently bring your attention back to your body, feeling your breath, sensing your physical presence. When you notice tension or discomfort in your body, use your mind to send loving thoughts to that area and connect with your soul for healing energy. When you feel disconnected or lost, turn inward to the quiet presence of your soul, letting it guide you back to balance. As you interact with others, do so from this place of integration. Let your words be a reflection of your highest thoughts. Let your actions be an expression of your soul's wisdom. Let your physical presence radiate the vitality of being. In doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you inspire and uplift those around you. And as you retire for the night, take a moment to reflect on your day. Acknowledge the moments when you maintain your focus on mind, body, and soul integration and the positive effects this had on your experiences. If there were moments when you lost this focus, simply observe this without judgment and set the intention to return to integration the next day. Remember, my friends, this focus on mind, body, and soul integration is not a burden or a chore. It is the most natural and most fulfilling way to live. It is your birthright as a divine being. As you consistently maintain this focus, you will find that life becomes more joyful, more peaceful, more abundant in every way. You will begin to notice changes in every aspect of your life. Your mental state becomes clearer, more positive, more focused on what you want to create rather than what you fear. Your body begins to align with your mental image of health and vitality, functioning with greater ease and energy. Your soul expression becomes more apparent in your life, guiding you towards experiences that fulfill your deepest purpose. These changes may be subtle at first, a shift in your mood, a new insight or inspiration, a harmonious interaction where there was once conflict. Acknowledge these changes, no matter how small, with gratitude. For they are the first fruits of your integrated consciousness, the early manifestations of your alignment with your true nature. And as you notice these changes, let them fuel your commitment to this practice. Let them strengthen your conviction in the power of focusing on mind, body, and soul integration. For this is the law of your being. What you consistently focus on with feeling must objectify itself in your world. But remember, the greatest change, the most profound transformation will occur within you. As you consistently focus on integrating mind, body, and soul, you are reconditioning your entire being. You are literally rewiring your brain, recalibrating your body's energy systems, and deepening your connection to your soul. You will find yourself naturally thinking more positively, feeling more vibrant, and elaborating more in alignment with your highest self. You will find yourself naturally attracted to people, experiences, and opportunities that support your A-graded state of being. You will find yourself making decisions from a place of inner wisdom and love, rather than from fear or external pressure. This inner transformation is the real miracle of focusing on mind, body, and soul integration. For as you align these aspects of your being, as you step into the truth of your divine nature, your entire world must reshape itself to match this new inner reality. So, my dear friends, I challenge you to embark on this journey of transformation. Commit to focusing on the integration of your mind, body, and soul consistently, passionately, faithfully. Make it the central practice of your life. Write about it in your journal. Speak about it with like-minded friends. Feel its truth in every fiber of your being. And as you do, watch in awe as your life transforms. Watch as inner peace becomes your natural state, as vitality flows through you effortlessly, as wisdom guides your every decision. Watch as you step into the fullness of your divine nature, recognizing yourself as the powerful creator you truly are. For you are a divine being, expressing yourself through the miracle of human form. You are the author of your life story. You are the architect of your reality. Embrace this truth, live from it, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it to create a life that reflects your highest vision. For in doing so, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the elevation of all humanity. You are showing others what is possible when we focus on integrating mind, body, and soul. Remember, your focus determines your reality. As you maintain your focus on the integration of mind, body, and soul, you are aligning with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into your role as a conscious creator, shaping your reality according to your highest vision. You are powerful beyond measure. You are divine. You are the integrated being of mind, body, and soul. Now go and create the life of your dreams. For it is your birthright, it is your nature, it is who you truly are. Thank you, and may your focus on mind, body, and soul integration guide you to the fulfillment of your highest potential.
In the silence of your heart, there is a truth that resonates louder than any voice. God's plan for you is unshakable. Life may throw its fiercest storms, people may try to dim your light, and circumstances may attempt to block your path, but nothing can halt the divine orchestration of God's will in your life. His plan is not dependent on human approval, nor is it swayed by the opinion of fear or actions of others. It is rooted in His infinite wisdom and boundless love. When challenges arise, it is easy to feel forgotten or lost. You may wonder if the setbacks you face are signs of failure or abandonment. But remember, the obstacles in your way are not detours away from God's purpose, they are stepping stones. They are tools He uses to refine your character, strengthen your faith, and prepare you for the blessings He has already set aside for you. No trial is wasted when it is surrendered to God. There are moments when people may doubt you, criticize you, or even stand against you. Their words may sting, and their actions may seem to delay your progress. But let this truth settle in your soul: no weapon formed against you will prosper, because God's hand is upon you. The same God who parted the Red Sea, who raised Lazarus from the dead, and who conquered death itself is the one who has written your destiny. His plan does not falter because of human interference. He has already accounted for every challenge, every delay, and every mistake. You are not defined by your past or limited by your present. God sees the full picture. He knows the dreams He has placed in your heart, and He knows the right time and way to bring them to fruition. Trust that His timing is perfect. It may not always align with your expectations, but it is always for your good. When doors close, it's not because you are unworthy, it's because He has something far greater waiting for you. When delays occur, it's not because you are forgotten, it's because He is aligning circumstances in ways you cannot yet see. Faith is the anchor that holds you steady as you wait. It is the assurance that even when you cannot see the path ahead, the one who leads you sees it all. It is the confidence that His promises are not empty and His plans are not fragile. Stand firm in that faith. Speak life over your dreams, even when doubt whispers otherwise. Declare God's truth over your journey, even when the road feels uncertain. Your life is not a series of random events, it is a masterpiece in progress. Every brushstroke of joy and sorrow, every layer of triumph and trial is part of a grand design. God is the artist, and He is not finished yet. Trust Him to complete the work He has started in you. He is the author of your story, and no one else holds the pen. When fear tries to paralyze you, when disappointment tries to dishearten you, and when uncertainty tries to discourage you, remind yourself of this God's plan, for you cannot be stopped. Not by people, not by circumstances, and not by anything in this world. His love is your foundation, His grace is your strength, and His purpose for your life is unshakable. God's plan is unshakable. This truth is a foundation that cannot be moved, no matter the storms or challenges that arise in life. His plan is rooted in eternity, crafted with love and wisdom that surpasses human understanding. It is not something fragile or uncertain, nor is it influenced by the circumstances we see or the opinions of others. God's plan is like a mighty river, flowing with purpose and power, carving a path even through the hardest of obstacles. The world often presents us with a narrative that we must be in control of every detail of our lives, that our destiny depends solely on our efforts, or that unforeseen circumstances can derail our purpose. But this perspective is limited, for it fails to recognize the sovereignty of God. His plan for each of us was established long before we took our first breath. The scriptures remind us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." These words are not mere encouragement, they are a declaration of certainty, a promise that transcends the temporal and anchors us in the eternal. There may be moments in life when it feels like everything is falling apart, as if the dreams we've cherished are slipping through our fingers. Doors may close, opportunities may vanish, and paths may seem blocked. It's in these moments that the strength of God's plan becomes evident. What appears to be a setback is often a setup for something greater. The delays and detours we face are not the end of the story, but chapters in the unfolding masterpiece of our lives. God's plan is not contingent on the conditions of the world or the cooperation of others. He moves beyond human limitations, working all things together for the good of those who love Him. Doubt may whisper that you are unworthy, that you have made too many mistakes, or that your time has passed. But God's plan is not dependent on your perfection. His grace covers your imperfections, and His power is made perfect in your weakness. The Bible is filled with examples of ordinary people who, despite their flaws and failures, were used mightily by God. Moses doubted his ability to lead. David stumbled into sin, and Peter denied Christ. Yet their destinies were fulfilled because God's plan for their lives was unshakable. He doesn't call the perfect, He perfects the called. This unshakable plan is not just for the grand moments of life, but also for the quiet, everyday steps of faith. It is active in the big decisions and the small choices, in the victories and the struggles. Trusting in His plan means releasing the need to control, and instead embracing the assurance that He is in control. It is living with the confidence that no matter what happens, His purpose for your life will prevail. God's plan is not just a hope for tomorrow, it is a reality unfolding today. Nothing in heaven or on earth can stop it. Obstacles are often seen as barriers, as reasons to doubt or give up, but through the lens of faith, they become stepping stones. Every challenge, every difficulty, and every moment of resistance is an opportunity for growth and transformation. They are not meant to deter us, but to strengthen us, to refine our character, and to prepare us for the next stage of our journey. God allows these moments not as punishments, but as purposeful parts of His divine plan, shaping us into who we are meant to be. When we encounter obstacles, it is natural to feel frustrated or disheartened. We might question why things aren't going according to our expectations, or why we seem to face resistance at every turn. However, it is in these very moments that God's greater purpose is at work. Our challenges teach us perseverance, deepen our faith, and remind us to rely not on our own strength, but on His. The story of Joseph in the Bible is a perfect example. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and wrongfully imprisoned, Joseph faced trial after trial. Yet every obstacle he encountered was a step closer to the fulfillment of God's promise. What others intended for harm, God used for good, positioning Joseph to save a nation. Obstacles also reveal our hidden strengths and abilities. Often it is only when we are pushed to our limits that we discover the depth of our resilience and the power of our faith. Challenges force us to step out of our comfort zones, to confront our fears, and to grow in ways we never thought possible. They remind us that we are not walking alone, that God is with us, guiding us through every trial. When David faced Goliath, it wasn't just a battle between a shepherd and a giant, it was a moment of preparation for the leadership and victories that lay ahead. The obstacles in David's life were stepping stones, building his courage, trust in God, and readiness to fulfill his destiny. It's also important to recognize that obstacles often redirect us to something better. What may feel like a failure or a closed door is often God's way of steering us toward a greater opportunity. We may not understand it at the time, but hindsight reveals how the challenges we faced were necessary steps on the path to our calling. Think of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness. What seemed like a delay was God's way of preparing them to enter the promised land. Without the lessons learned in the wilderness, they would not have been ready to claim their inheritance. Obstacles demand trust. They require us to believe that God's plan is greater than our understanding, and that every step, even the difficult ones, is part of His purpose. They remind us to lean into His strength, to keep moving forward even when the way seems unclear. The very challenges that seem to block our path are often the tools God uses to shape us, elevate us, and propel us toward His perfect plan. Human interference cannot alter God's divine will. This truth is both reassuring and empowering because it reminds us that no person, no decision, and no opposition can derail the plans that God has set in motion. His authority is absolute, and His purposes are immovable. While people may attempt to hinder, delay, or even work against you, their actions are never outside the bounds of God's sovereignty. What God has ordained for your life will come to pass, regardless of human attempts to disrupt it. People may try to discourage you, diminish your confidence, or convince you that you are unworthy of what God has in store. They may judge you based on your past, misunderstand your intentions, or resist your progress. Yet none of this can undo what God has already decided. His plans are not subject to public opinion or reliant on human approval. When God opens a door, no one can shut it. When He declares a promise over your life, no amount of opposition can nullify it. This truth was evident in the life of Jesus, whose mission faced relentless opposition. Despite the schemes of the Pharisees, the betrayal by Judas, and the disbelief of many, God's purpose was fulfilled. No human effort could stop the redemption of humanity through Christ. Sometimes the interference of others feels overwhelming. You may encounter betrayal, jealousy, or unfair treatment. It can feel as though people's actions are succeeding in holding you back. But remember, God is not surprised by any of it. He sees what you cannot see and knows what you do not know. He has already accounted for every challenge and every act of opposition. In fact, He can use these very things to advance His plan. What others mean for harm, God can transform into good. The story of Nehemiah rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem is a powerful example. Despite the ridicule and sabotage attempts from his enemies, the walls were completed because Nehemiah relied on God's guidance. Human interference could not stop the divine assignment. God's will is also independent of human cooperation. You don't need everyone to believe in you or support you for God's plan to succeed. He often works through unlikely circumstances and unexpected people. Consider how God used Moses, a man with a speech impediment, to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Pharaoh resisted time and again, but God's plan prevailed. Similarly, God used Esther, a young Jewish woman, to save her people despite the schemes of Haman. Human efforts to thwart God's purpose only set the stage for His glory to be revealed. It is easy to feel discouraged when others misunderstand or oppose you. Yet these moments are opportunities to trust in God's higher ways. His plans are unstoppable, His power unmatched, and His wisdom unsearchable. What He has set in motion cannot be undone by human hands. People may try to interfere, but they are ultimately powerless against the will of the Almighty. Every attempt to block your progress only serves to magnify His ability to accomplish His purpose in your life. God's timing is perfect, a truth that often challenges our human perspective, but ultimately brings peace when we embrace it. In a world driven by deadlines, urgency, and instant gratification, waiting for God's timing can feel like a test of patience and faith. Yet His timing is not random or delayed, it is divinely orchestrated, unfolding in a way that aligns with His eternal plan and our ultimate good. Every moment, every event, and every season is precisely positioned in the timeline of our lives to fulfill His purpose. When we look at life through our limited lens, we often desire things immediately. We pray for breakthroughs, opportunities, or resolutions, expecting them to happen on our schedule. However, God operates outside of time as we know it. His view is infinite, and He sees the entirety of our lives, the beginning, the middle, and the end. What seems like a delay to us is often preparation in His divine plan. He is not only preparing the blessing, but also preparing us to receive it. Just as a seed must undergo time in the soil before it can grow into a flourishing plant, there are seasons of waiting that are necessary for our growth and readiness. In the Bible, the story of Abraham and Sarah illustrates the perfection of God's timing. They were promised a child, but that promise took years to be fulfilled. Their waiting period was not wasted, it was a time of learning, trusting, and deepening their relationship with God. When Isaac was finally born, it was evident that his arrival was not just about fulfilling a promise, but about showcasing God's faithfulness and sovereignty. Had the promise come immediately, the magnitude of God's work in their lives might have been overlooked. The waiting made the fulfillment even more powerful. God's timing is also protective. There are moments when we feel ready for something, but God, in His wisdom, knows we are not. He may withhold an opportunity, not as a denial, but as a safeguard. If we rush ahead of His plan, we may encounter challenges we are unprepared to face or misuse blessings that we are not yet equipped to handle. His timing ensures that we receive His gifts when they will be most impactful and beneficial, both for us and for those around us. Joseph's journey from the pit to the palace is a profound example. Though his dreams of leadership were real, he had to endure years of trials before stepping into his role. Each delay was part of God's perfect preparation. Trusting God's timing requires surrender. It means letting go of our desire to control and embracing the assurance that He is in control. It is an act of faith to believe that His delays are not denials and that His pace is purposeful. During the waiting seasons, we are called to remain faithful, to keep seeking Him, and to trust that He is working behind the scenes. His timing is never late, and it is always worth the wait. What He has planned for us will come to pass at exactly the right moment. Faith is the foundation of our trust in God's plan. It is the unwavering belief that even when we cannot see the path ahead, God is leading us exactly where we need to go. Faith goes beyond mere optimism or hope. It is the certainty that God is who He says He is and will do what He has promised. This kind of trust is not dependent on circumstances, but is anchored in God's unchanging nature. Faith is what enables us to walk forward, even in uncertainty, because we know that His plan is perfect. Faith often requires stepping into the unknown. It means choosing to believe in God's promises when the evidence around us seems to suggest otherwise. Abraham demonstrated this kind of faith when God called him to leave his homeland and go to a place he did not know. Abraham didn't have a map or a timeline, but he trusted in God's word and obeyed. His faith became the cornerstone of his relationship with God and the fulfillment of the covenant that would bless generations to come. Faith, then, is not about having all the answers, but about trusting the one who does. Life is filled with moments that test our faith. There are times when the way forward seems blocked, when prayers seem unanswered, and when the weight of challenges feels unbearable. In these moments, it is tempting to question God's plan or to rely on our own understanding. Yet faith calls us to surrender our doubts and trust in God's greater perspective. The story of Peter walking on water is a vivid example. When Peter focused on Jesus, he was able to do the impossible. But the moment he let fear and doubt take over, he began to sink. Faith keeps us anchored, even in the storm, reminding us that God is in control. Faith is not passive, it requires action. It is not simply believing in God's promises, but living as though they are already fulfilled. When we act in faith, we align ourselves with God's will and demonstrate our trust in His timing and provision. The woman with the issue of blood acted in faith when she reached out to touch Jesus' garment, believing she would be healed. Her faith was the catalyst for her miracle. In the same way, our faith moves us to take steps, even small ones, toward the promises God has placed before us. Faith also brings peace. When we trust in God's plan, we no longer feel the need to control every detail of our lives. We can rest in the assurance that He is working all things for our good. This peace doesn't mean the absence of trials, but the presence of God's comfort and guidance within them. Faith transforms our perspective, allowing us to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow and deepen our reliance on God. Faith is the bridge between God's promises and their fulfillment. It is what allows us to walk forward with confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, God's plan for us is good, and His purposes will prevail. God's plans for us are filled with hope, purpose, and victory, even when life's circumstances suggest otherwise. At times, the challenges and trials we face can cloud our understanding of His intentions, leading us to question whether the difficulties we endure have any purpose. But God's plans are not only good, they are divinely crafted to bring us closer to Him and to fulfill His higher purpose for our lives. His promises remind us that He is always working for our ultimate good, even when we cannot see it. The promise of Jeremiah 29:11 echoes this truth. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. These words were spoken to the Israelites during a time of exile, a season of hardship and uncertainty. Yet even in that difficult moment, God assured them that their suffering was not the end of their story. He had a future of restoration and blessings waiting for them. This assurance is the same for us today. No matter where we find ourselves, God's plans are steadfast, filled with hope, and focused on our growth. Life may often present circumstances that feel anything but hopeful. Perhaps we face setbacks, losses, or prolonged seasons of waiting that leave us wondering if God's promises will ever be fulfilled. It is in these moments that we must cling to His word and trust in His character. God's goodness is not negated by our trials. On the contrary, He uses them to shape us, strengthen our faith, and prepare us for the greater things He has in store. The Apostle Paul understood this deeply when he wrote in Romans 8:28 that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. The victories that come from God's plans often emerge from what initially seems like defeat. The cross is the ultimate example of this. At the time, it appeared to be the end of Jesus' ministry, a moment of despair for His followers. But what looked like loss was actually the greatest victory in history. Through the cross, God's plan of redemption for humanity was fulfilled, proving that His ways are far higher and more powerful than we can comprehend. In our lives, too, what seems like failure or delay can be the groundwork for a divine breakthrough. God's plans also carry an eternal perspective, reminding us that our hope is not confined to this world. While His blessings are evident in our present lives, His ultimate goal is to draw us closer to Him and prepare us for eternity. The hope we find in His plans transcends temporary circumstances, grounding us in the assurance of His unchanging love. Every step of the journey, whether filled with joy or trials, is part of His perfect design for our lives. Even in the darkest moments, God's plans shine through with purpose and hope. His goodness, faithfulness, and promises are unshakable, giving us the strength to persevere, trust, and walk forward in confidence. The victory He has prepared for us is not just for today, it is for eternity, and it is certain. In the grand tapestry of life, God's plan is the thread that binds everything together with purpose, hope, and love. It is a plan that transcends our understanding, yet it is always for our good. Through His timing, His promises, and the unwavering assurance of His faithfulness, we are reminded that nothing, no obstacle, no delay, no challenge can hinder what He has ordained for us. Our role is to trust, to walk in faith, and to align ourselves with His will, knowing that He is always working behind the scenes. His plans are not just about achieving victories or receiving blessings, they are about transforming us, drawing us closer to Him, and fulfilling a purpose far greater than we can imagine. With God, we are never alone, never forgotten, and always on the path toward a hope-filled future. Let us hold fast to this truth, rest in His promises, and move forward with confidence, for His plans will always prevail. Ladies and gentlemen, my beloved brothers and sisters, today I come to you with a word that will shake the very foundation of your spirit, a revelation that will transform your thinking, elevate your faith, and position you to walk in the fullness of God's promises. I speak to you not as mere men and women, but as chosen vessels, as kings and queens in the making, as the elect of the Most High, who have been tested, refined, and prepared for a season of divine overflow. Many of you have been through trials that made you question your calling. You have endured storms that threatened to break you. You have faced betrayals, setbacks, disappointments, and long nights of wondering when God's promise would manifest. But I came here today to tell you your season of trial has come to an end. The days of struggling, barely making it, fighting for survival, they are over. The Lord has declared over you, "Well done, my faithful servant. Now step into abundance." You see, trials are not punishments. Trials are not meant to destroy you. Trials are divine classrooms, places of testing, where God molds His chosen ones into leaders, influencers, and stewards of great wealth. Gold must go through fire before it shines. Diamonds must be pressed before they sparkle. Oil must be crushed before it flows. And you, God's chosen one, have been through your crushing, your pressing, your refining fire. And now it is time for your reward. The Word of God declares in Deuteronomy 8:18, "Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant." It is not the world that gives wealth. It is not luck. It is not the systems of men. It is God Himself who grants the power to generate wealth, to establish dominion, to live in the overflow. And why does He do it? That His covenant may be established. Let me tell you something. Poverty is not your portion. Lack is not your inheritance. Struggle is not your destiny. You were born for dominion. The enemy has deceived many into believing that they must suffer indefinitely, that they must live in scarcity to be humble. But let me ask you, how does a child of the King live like a beggar? How does an heir to the kingdom walk like a slave? The moment you recognize who you are, your posture changes, your mindset shifts, and your circumstances must bow to the authority of your revelation. You are not just anyone, you are God's chosen. Before you were born, He knew you. Before you took your first breath, He had a purpose for you. And part of that purpose is to be a conduit of His wealth. He is shifting you from borrower to lender, from worker to owner, from survival to significance. The trials were your training ground. The hardships were your preparation. You had to be tested so that when the millions come, you will not be consumed by them, but you will steward them for the glory of God. Let me remind you of Joseph. The young man had a dream of greatness, a vision of prosperity, But before the palace he faced the pit. Before the crown he wore chains. Before ruling he was falsely accused. But through it all God was training him. He was refining his character, sharpening his wisdom, preparing his heart. And when the moment came, Joseph stepped into his wealth, not as a selfish man, but as a divine steward. Likewise, your journey has not been in vain. Every tear you cried, every night you prayed, every moment you felt abandoned, it was all part of the preparation. You had to lose some things to gain better things. You had to walk through seasons of emptiness so you could appreciate the overflow. You had to endure trials to prove your faithfulness. And because you did not give up, because you remained faithful, because you held on to the promises of God, now the floodgates of heaven are opening for you. God is not just giving you money, He is giving you divine strategies. He is placing ideas in your mind that will birth industries. He is giving you favor that will open doors no man can shut. He is sending the right people to connect with you, the right opportunities to align with your purpose. But you must be ready to step into it. Many people pray for abundance but are not prepared to receive it. If God gives you millions today, will you manage it well? If He entrusts you with wealth, will you use it for His kingdom, or will you let it corrupt you? The reason God allows trials before the breakthrough is to shape your heart, to ensure that when the millions come, they do not take His place in your life. Let me speak prophetically into your life. You are stepping into an era where doors will open without struggle, where financial opportunities will locate you, where debts will be cancelled and wealth will flow into your hands. But hear me. This is not just about you. This is about kingdom expansion. This is about feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, funding the gospel, building schools, hospitals, and businesses that will glorify God. You're not just becoming a millionaire for your comfort. You are becoming a millionaire for kingdom impact. There is an anointing for wealth that is being released upon the chosen ones, and it is for those who have endured the test. The wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, and now is the time of divine wealth transfer. God is positioning you to be a leader in the marketplace, a financier of the gospel, a pillar in your community. The world is waiting for you to rise. Your family is waiting for you to break generational curses. Your city is waiting for the manifestation of God's glory in your life. This is your time. This is your moment. The wait is over. No more delay, no more excuses. Walk boldly into the blessing. Step courageously into the overflow. The trials are over. Now you are stepping into your millionaire status. This is not wishful thinking. This is not motivational speech. This is divine revelation. The enemy has tried to keep you blind to your inheritance, but today your eyes are opening. The chains of limitation are breaking. The curses of poverty are being reversed. The season of just enough is turning into a season of more than enough. So I challenge you today, change your mindset. Stop thinking like a slave and start thinking like a ruler. Stop expecting scarcity and start expecting overflow. Stop waiting for permission and start taking dominion. Wealth is not coming to the lazy. Wealth is not coming to the fearful. Wealth is coming to the diligent, the bold, the faithful, the obedient. The trials were necessary. They humbled you, they refined you, they tested your faith. And now, because you endured, you shall reap the reward. You are not just going to make a little money, you are going to be a millionaire. You are going to fund the kingdom. You are going to change lives. You are going to walk in such abundance that generations after you will call you blessed. So get ready, get positioned, get aligned with God's principles. Sow, invest, plan, and expect the harvest, because what is coming to you is bigger than what you prayed for. It is exceeding, abundant, above all you can ask or think. It is supernatural wealth, divine acceleration, unstoppable favor. The trials are over, and now you're going to be a millionaire. Hallelujah. The problem with many of God's people is not that they lack the capacity for greatness, but that they have been conditioned by the world to expect struggle as their permanent reality. Some of you have been so accustomed to hardship that when God opens a door, you hesitate. When an opportunity comes, you question it. When the breakthrough is at your doorstep, you shrink back in fear. But let me remind you today, God does not bring you through trials just to leave you in the wilderness. He does not allow you to be tested without a reward in mind. Every struggle has a purpose. Every hardship has a lesson. Every delay has a divine reason. And when that purpose is fulfilled, God will do exactly what He promised. He will bless you beyond measure. There are some of you who have been faithful in seasons of lack, and God has been watching. He has seen how you have managed the little you had. He saw you give when it was hard to give. He saw you trust when it was hard to trust. He saw you serve when you were tired and weary. And because you have been faithful over little, He is now about to make you ruler over much. The reason God allows seasons of testing is not to break you, but to qualify you. You have been tested, and now you are stepping into promotion. The trials were the prerequisite for your next level. Many people want the crown without the process. They want the millions without the discipline. They want success without obedience. But God does not work that way. God does not pour oil on an unprepared vessel. God does not release wealth into untrained hands. If you give a child a kingdom, he will destroy it, not because he is evil, but because he lacks the maturity to manage it. That is why God has taken you through trials, so that when the millions come, they will not destroy you, but rather they will empower you. Look at David. Before he became king, he was a shepherd. Before he sat on the throne, he lived in caves. Before he wore a crown, he faced Goliath. Why? Because God had to train him in obscurity before he could trust him with authority. Some of you have been hidden, unnoticed, overlooked, and rejected, but that was part of your training. God was sharpening your skills, developing your character, teaching you patience. And now, the season of hiding is over. You are stepping into your rightful place, not as a servant, but as a ruler. The wealth is coming, the favor is coming, the open doors are coming. But will you be ready? There is a principle in the kingdom. God blesses those who are ready. Some of you are praying for millions, but you have not yet mastered the art of managing hundreds. Some of you are asking for abundance, but your mindset is still stuck in scarcity. God does not pour new wine into old wineskins. Before He releases wealth, He transforms the mind. That is why Romans 12:02 tells us to be transformed by the renewing of our mind. You cannot enter a millionaire's season with a poverty mindset. You cannot step into overflow while thinking like a beggar. Your mindset must shift before your reality does. The enemy has been working overtime to keep God's people ignorant of their inheritance. He knows that a believer with financial power is a dangerous believer. He knows that if you ever step into your wealth, you will break generational curses, fund the gospel, build schools, take over industries, and shift economies. That is why he fights you. That is why he tries to keep you bound in survival mode. He knows that as long as you are struggling, you are distracted. But today I came to announce that the chains are breaking. The deception is being exposed. The strongholds of lack and limitation are being destroyed. You are stepping into a season where money will no longer be your master but your servant. Money was never meant to control you, it was meant to serve you. That is why Jesus spoke so much about stewardship. He did not condemn wealth, He condemned the love of it. Money is a tool, a resource, a means to fulfill purpose. It is not your identity. It is not your security. It is not your God. When you understand this, you will stop chasing money and start attracting it. You will stop worrying about finances and start walking in divine provision. The reason many people struggle financially is because they have made money their master. But Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you." When you shift your focus from money to purpose, from survival to dominion, from fear to faith, wealth begins to find you. The chosen ones do not beg for blessings. They walk in blessings. They do not chase favor, they attract favor. They do not wait for opportunities, they create them. This is the season where you must start thinking differently. You are not a victim. You are not at the mercy of the economy. You are not bound by what the world says you can have. You are a kingdom citizen, and in the kingdom there is no lack. In the kingdom there are no limits. In the kingdom, prosperity is your inheritance. Some of you have been conditioned by religion to believe that wealth is evil. But let me ask you, how can you fund the kingdom without resources? How can you be a blessing to others if you are struggling to survive? The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. You are not called to leave debts behind. You are called to leave a legacy. The wealth that is coming to you is not just for you. It is for your children, your grandchildren, and for the advancement of God's work. This is the time to position yourself. Get educated, develop new skills, start thinking like an owner, invest wisely, seek wisdom. Do not let this opportunity pass you by. The trials are over, the season of struggle has ended, and now it is time to walk into your inheritance. If you have been faithful, God is about to show himself strong in your life. The days of barely getting by are finished. The days of endless battles are coming to an end. Now is the time to rise, to take dominion, and to walk boldly into your millionaire season. The enemy tried to keep you down, but he failed. The storms tried to break you, but they only made you stronger. The setbacks tried to delay you, but they only positioned you for greater. What the enemy meant for evil, God is turning for your good. The waiting was not wasted. The suffering was not pointless. Everything you went through was preparing you for what is about to happen. This is not just a new season. This is a new dimension. This is a supernatural shift. This is the manifestation of God's promise. So I say to you today, get ready. Expand your vision. Make room for abundance. Start preparing for what is coming. Do not be like the 5 foolish virgins who were not ready when the time came. Get your house in order. Set your affairs in place. Expect the overflow. You are about to see the hand of God move in your life like never before. You are about to experience supernatural favor. The trials are over. Now you are stepping into divine prosperity. This is not for everyone. This is for the chosen ones. This is for those who did not give up. This is for those who endured. This is for those who remained faithful when things got tough. And because you endured, because you remained steadfast, because you trusted in God, now the heavens are opening over you. Now the wealth of the wicked is being transferred to you. Now doors are swinging wide open. Now you are stepping into the reality of God's promise. The trials were only temporary, but the blessing will be permanent. You are going to be a millionaire, not for selfish gain, not for vain pursuits, but for kingdom impact. The wealth is coming so that you can be a solution to problems, a light in darkness, a testimony of God's goodness. The days of struggling are over. The trials have served their purpose. Now it is time to walk in the fullness of what God has destined for you. The season has shifted. The floodgates have opened. The trials are over, and now you are going to be a millionaire. The journey you have walked has been necessary. Every tear you shed, every hardship you endured, every moment of doubt you faced, it was all preparing you for this. God was not punishing you. He was promoting you. He was stretching you, expanding your capacity, and enlarging your territory. You see, the problem is not that God is unwilling to bless you. The problem is that too many people want a blessing they are not yet ready to handle. God cannot release wealth into unprepared hands. He cannot give increase to those who lack the discipline to sustain it. That is why He allowed the process. That is why He tested you. And because you have endured, because you have been found faithful, now He is releasing the increase. Some of you have been crying out to God, asking, Lord, when will my breakthrough come? And He is saying the breakthrough is already here, but are you ready to walk in it? Many people are waiting for a sign, waiting for a miracle, waiting for something external to change. But the truth is, before the external shifts, the internal must shift. Your mindset must shift. Your faith must increase. Your habits must align with the vision God has given you. You cannot expect millionaire status while thinking in poverty. You cannot expect financial increase while still operating in lack. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you see yourself as small, you will remain small. If you see yourself as incapable, you will remain incapable. But when you recognize that you are chosen, when you understand that you have been set apart, when you truly believe that you are destined for greatness, then nothing can stop the manifestation of God's promises in your life. The enemy does not attack people who have no purpose. He attacks those who are dangerous to his kingdom. That is why your trials were so intense. That is why the warfare against you was so fierce. He saw what you were about to become. He saw the wealth that was coming to you. He saw the influence that God was positioning you for, and he tried to break you before you could step into it. But he failed. You're still standing, you're still believing, you're still trusting, and because you did not give up, because you did not quit, now you are stepping into your season of supernatural release. The Word of God says that he will restore the years that the locusts have eaten. Some of you have lost time. You have lost opportunities. You have watched others move ahead while you felt stuck. But God is a God of restoration. He is not just giving you back what you lost, he is multiplying it. He is giving you double for your trouble. He is accelerating what seemed delayed. What took others 10 years will take you 1 year. What seemed impossible will become effortless. This is the season of divine acceleration, where things will happen so fast your head will spin. Many of you have been faithful with little, and now God is making you ruler over much. He is giving you divine strategies, supernatural wisdom, and ideas that will generate wealth for generations. But hear me, this wealth is not just for your comfort. It is for kingdom expansion. It is for breaking generational curses. It is for establishing businesses that will employ others. It is for feeding the hungry, housing the homeless, funding the gospel, and being a light in the marketplace. The wealth is coming with a purpose, and those who understand that purpose will see an increase beyond their imagination. Too many believers are waiting for wealth to fall from the sky. But the truth is, God blesses the work of your hands. That means you must be doing something, you must be building something, you must be sowing seeds of diligence, creativity, and obedience. You cannot sit idly and expect abundance to chase you. Faith without works is dead. You must align your actions with your faith. If you believe you are stepping into millionaire status, then start moving like a millionaire. Start thinking like an owner. Start preparing for what is coming. Make room for the overflow. The reason some people never walk into their blessing is that they never prepare for it. They pray for a harvest but never plant seeds. They ask for promotion but never develop the skills required for the next level. They expect abundance but still operate in a spirit of scarcity. But God is saying today, I am ready to release it, but are you ready to receive it? This is the time to take action. This is the time to get serious about your purpose. This is the time to move in faith, even when you do not see the full picture. Because when you move, heaven moves. When you step out, the provision meets you. When you obey, the doors open. The trials were never meant to destroy you, they were meant to reveal you. Diamonds are formed under pressure, oil is released through crushing, gold is purified in fire, and you, God's chosen one, have been through the process. You have been through the refining. You have been through the pressing, and now it is time for the unveiling. The season of hiddenness is over. The season of struggle has expired. Now you are stepping into the manifestation of everything God has spoken over your life. Some of you have been afraid to step out because of past failures. You tried before and it didn't work. You believed before and it didn't happen. But hear me, the past does not define your future. The enemy wants to keep you trapped in the cycle of disappointment, but today that cycle is breaking. This is a new season, a fresh start, a divine reset. The doors that closed before will now open. The opportunities that were blocked will now be released. The favor that was delayed will now accelerate. God is not limited by your past. He is not restricted by what has happened before. He is doing a new thing. Can you perceive it? Can you embrace it? Can you believe it? Because those who believe will see the manifestation. Those who expect it will walk in it. Those who align themselves with God's promises will experience supernatural results. This is not the time to shrink back. This is not the time to hesitate. This is the time to move boldly, to walk in faith, to take possession of what belongs to you. You have been anointed for such a time as this. You have been positioned for this moment. Everything you went through was leading to this. The struggles, the setbacks, the betrayals, the losses, they were all necessary for your elevation. And now the elevation has come. The shift has happened. The wealth is being transferred, the resources are being released, and those who have been faithful will now reap the rewards. So let me ask you, are you ready? Are you truly ready to walk in the fullness of God's blessing? Because this is not just about financial wealth. This is about purpose. This is about influence. This is about impact. Money without purpose is meaningless. Wealth without assignment is wasted. But when you understand why God is blessing you, when you align your wealth with His kingdom, when you use what He gives you for His glory, then there is no limit to what He will do in your life. The chosen ones are rising. The marketplace leaders, the kingdom financiers, the business owners, the innovators, the problem solvers, they are emerging. This is the time to build, to create, to take dominion. This is the time to establish systems that will last for generations. This is the time to break cycles of poverty and establish new legacies of wealth. The world will see the manifestation of God's power in your life. They will see the hand of God upon you. They will see that you serve a God who does not just supply your needs, but gives you more than enough. The trials were necessary, but they are over now. The waiting season has ended. The struggle has served its purpose. Now the abundance is being released. Now the overflow is coming. Now the millions are manifesting. And those who are ready will walk into it. Those who are prepared will take possession. Those who believe will see the impossible become possible. This is the hour. This is the moment. The season has shifted. The trials are over. Now you are going to be a millionaire. There is a sound in the spirit, a sound of breakthrough, a sound of release, a sound of divine acceleration. You have been waiting, you have been laboring, you have been enduring, but now the heavens are open over you. The storehouses of heaven are pouring out blessings that you do not have room enough to receive. The delay has been broken, the barriers have been removed, and what once seemed impossible is now within reach. You see, the enemy wanted to convince you that the trials would last forever. He wanted you to believe that struggle was your portion, that lack was your inheritance, that hardship was your destiny. But today I declare that the enemy is a liar. You were never meant to live in survival mode. You were never meant to beg for what already belongs to you. You were never meant to live beneath your calling. You were created for dominion, for abundance, for overflow. You were designed to be the lender and not the borrower, the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. And now you are stepping into that reality. This is a divine wealth transfer. This is supernatural favor. What took others decades to accomplish will happen for you in moments. Contracts will find you, clients will seek you out, partnerships will be established, doors you did not even knock on will open, your name is being spoken in rooms you have never entered. People are being divinely positioned to bless you, to invest in you, to elevate you, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because God has ordained it. Because the trials were only a test, and now that you have passed, you are stepping into your season of divine reward. There is a shift happening, a supernatural shift. It is happening right now, even as you hear these words. Things are aligning in the spirit. Mountains are being moved. Chains are breaking. And as you step forward in faith, you will see the evidence. You will see the manifestation. You will see the fulfillment of God's promises. The trials were necessary, but they are over. The struggle was a process, but it is complete. Now the floodgates of heaven are open. Now your millionaire season has arrived. Now is the time to walk boldly in the manifestation of God's promises. The trials were never meant to define you. They were meant to refine you. The struggle was never your destiny. It was only preparation for your elevation. You have been tested. You have been stretched. You have been shaped for this moment. And now the season of lack has come to an end. Step forward with faith. Move with expectation. Align your mind, your actions, and your spirit with the abundance that God is releasing into your life. This is not the time to shrink back, not the time to doubt, not the time to hesitate. Everything you have endured was for this purpose, to position you for increase, to establish you in dominion, to release you into wealth that will not just bless you, but will impact generations. The shift has happened. The doors are open. The opportunities are before you. The trials are over. Now, step into your millionaire season with confidence, knowing that God has ordained it, heaven has sanctioned it, and nothing can stop what He has set in motion. The time is now.